Hey guys, Jovius34 back again, and you know when it comes to Hot Toys, I've always been a sucker for Iron Man, just like many others. But I don't collect as many as I used to, and I've sold a lot in the past, but I am still sucker for some of the die-cast ones, so I had to pick this one up. This is a really nice one as far as Iron Man goes, the Mark VII that appeared in Avengers. And the reason why it's coming out now, and of course I'm a little late to the party with it, but they had released this, I think it was one of the, and I could be wrong about this because I don't follow them as closely as other people, but I think it was one of the few that were last released in the non-diecast version. So as they started re-releasing ones with the diecast, this one came along. So even though Avengers is kind of old news at this point, the diecast version of Mark VII just recently was released. This is not the Sideshow exclusive one that comes with the little hologram one. I missed out on that. This is just the normal one, still from Sideshow though, but the price was the same this time, which was kind of weird, but honestly, that's okay. It was just a little hologram add-on piece that you could display next to them, which I don't really care. This is the base, and of course, in typical fashion, they deliver with the bases. It has the logo, Avengers Mark VII, Street with the bolts. Kind of reminds me of the Terminator base. I think the from part 1 has like a base similar to that, where he looks like he's on the road. And but really nice. It's got their, you know, the dramatic stand where you can bend the pole, and I have it set right here to kind of hug his hips right here. It is noticeable, but I got to say it's very secure. I do like this base with the, you know, they have the hug grabber, you know, the hip grabber here, but they also have the crotch piece that goes underneath here to hold him between the legs. So that's cool. And since he is a heavier figure, it makes more sense. I have the Punisher War Machine, which for some reason I haven't reviewed yet, but I don't think that came with this, and that would really be good for something like that. But again, I have to double check. It might have, and maybe I wasn't paying attention. But anyway, if that's the way they're going with these type of, you know, holders for these type of figures, I think that's great. Definitely makes a big difference in keeping it still. So of course I have them in a bit of a dramatic pose here, and with all the lights showing. So, you know, usual thing with the batteries. You know, you have the 621s, and then you have the slightly different ones that go into the chest. Now, I didn't bother putting the batteries in the stand yet. There, you know, so you can light these up. I don't usually do that, and I think they usually require like regular batteries. And of course, this being the Mark VII, there's the box, which is beautiful. Once again, beautifully done. They do have this version that you can transform into. There's other reviews that show the transformation. I'm going to be honest with you, although cool, I'm never going to do it. I have no interest in displaying it that way, and I don't really have interest in, it's like a Transformer figure where I don't have interest in changing it into the car. I don't care to change it into that, so I'm not going to really show it in this vid. I mean, you know it could do it. You've seen other people's reviews at this point that show it's beautiful, it's a nice little touch, but at the same time, I feel unnecessary because I don't really feel like, unless you buy 2, that you would display it that way. But it does come with additional batteries, also 621s that you put in here. For the head, there is a magnetic piece to take the plate off and put the battle damage or the Tony Stark head, which I'll show you in a minute. And of course, it's a little challenging, although I found it easier for some reason. Maybe I'm getting just used to it, to get the batteries in on this one, even though the magnetic pieces are here, and sometimes the batteries just kind of want to be drawn to it. But I worked through it and put my eyeglasses on, accept my age, and got it done. And same thing, you know, the batteries go here, these pop off, and then the chest obviously is just like every other Iron Man, which I don't have the piece on right now, but there's the on-off switch there, and then there's right here is the piece that goes on to cover it, and I will cover it once I'm done with the review and I turn the lights off. My nitpick again, which I know they're trying to hide the switches to make it more accurate looking, but it kind of bugs me that you have to remove pieces to kind of get to the switches. Like for the arm, for the hands, I have to remove these gold pieces to get them off. And same thing with the head, but that's always been, you know, you have to kind of take the mask off, take the top off, and then there's the on-off switch underneath this. It's not the end of the world or hard to do, but it's just kind of annoying that you have to kind of like take stuff off to get to these switches. But let's face it, at the end of the day, we're not really going to be displaying it much with the lights on as much as we would just off. I'm going to turn the lights off here so you can kind of get a little bit, well, let me turn the kitchen light off too. Okay, so you can kind of get an idea if I put them behind the box here, so you can kind of get an idea. The lights are very nice and bright. This one's a little more even, I find. I know in the past, like sometimes the chest light in older Iron Mans were always a lot brighter than the rest of it. They seem to have figured that out and kind of balanced it out a little better. This doesn't like outshine the rest of the stuff. And again, they do have additional batteries to put into this piece so that when you transform them into that, you have the light going there. And once again, I didn't really bother doing that. The other nice thing about this piece, it's very heavy, very thick and bulky. I like it. It's kind of like the newer diecast Mark IV or Mark VI. It's bigger, it's taller, it's really nice. It's one of the best, I would say, so far. I wouldn't say the best. I guess in someone's opinion they might think it's the best, but it's definitely one of the best compared to some of the other ones that have come out with the die-cast version. So anyway, I have them in a bit of a dramatic pose. I'm usually more of a museum pose type, but I do kind of like them like this, and I wanted to use this hand. It comes with the different hands, some that the fingers move, which is this one here, and then ones that like have a more like a position like this, like he's firing. And then of course out of the box he had the closed fist hands, and they also have like additional hands that like to have the weapons coming out that you could change it to if you want to do more of a battle mode. And I'll show you the box in a minute. I'm going to show you the pieces and all the other cool stuff that comes with it. Okay, so I did switch some things up so you can kind of get the point of the variety of stuff you can have with this figure. And it comes with a plethora of parts and things you can do. So as you can see here, I changed out the hands to have one of the weapon hands with the little gun pointing out there, little missile launchers or what have you. See? And I replaced the chest piece. Now the chest piece, the battle damage chest piece, comes on the pod piece that's in the packaging that I'll show you in a minute. So you have to pull it off there to use it if you want to use battle damage. And there's the battle damage faceplate with some scuffs and scratches. And this is one of those things where my OCD is going to kick in because, he looks badass both ways. So it's kind of like, which way do you do it? Now, right now I have the Tony Stark head sculpt. So this is the bonus head sculpt that comes with it. Very well done. Let me see if I can I can zoom in there and get you better lighting on the face here. Hold on. Come on. There we go. Very good likeness to Tony Stark. I mean, they've gotten better as far as making it actually look like to scale, that it's realistic, that his head's in there. I know in the earlier Iron Mans years ago, that was always kind of a complaint. So as you can see, so there's all the extra pieces. Now with the legs here, I have like a battle mode one showing. That's kind of got a chrome finish with exposing the weapons there. And these were the original ones that you saw earlier that I took off. And they also come with these gold ones. Now, I gotta be honest with you, I don't remember the movie that well as far as like seeing that like variations. I don't know. Let me see if I got this right. Wait, here, actually it goes this way. No, actually I was right the first time. There we go. It's just very hard to do that while holding the camera. So there's another alternate look that they give you. So honestly, I'm not really sure like what the stipulation is there or what point, because I know, I'm not sure. I don't know why they give the gold, and maybe at some point in the movie he switched or something. I don't know. But in any case, it looks beautiful no matter which way you do it. And also went to the battle mode here that you can replace these things on his chest, these pieces that are open and exposed. So I just put that on there so you can kind of get a different look and get an idea that you can do different looks with this figure. And now he kind of looks like a completely, different figure. So there's the other pieces that I took off. There's the normal one. There's the other hands I had, the light up head sculpt, okay, and then the normal shoulder armor there. Here's the box with the additional hands that came in here. And obviously the Tony Stark head sculpt, the other faceplate, and the figure was in here. Underneath that came these extra things. Now these are extra feet that you could put on that are kind of in a pointed up motion, I guess for the pod mode, or if you just want them in a flying motion. Okay, and then there's still additional weapons on top of that. You can put this on his wrists, I guess, for additional weapons, all different like variations. And here's the piece that if you're going to convert them into the pod mode, and the batteries go in here to light up. Again, I don't intend on using that. This is where the batteries were. Again, this time they do give you the screwdriver. I don't know why sometimes they do something. I reviewed my Darth Vader, my 1/4 Darth Vader a few weeks ago, and they did not supply the screwdriver for some reason with that one. But usually with everything else they do, so I don't know. But anyway, additional stuff for the pod mode, the missiles that can come out, or the lasers, or firing, whatever, out of the pod mode. And as you can see here, they give you in the instruction booklet how to convert it. Again, I have no I have no ambition to do so, not even for the sake of the review. It does require some transformation. It's not that tough. But you got to pull his arms out, pull his head out, and you kind of have to put this piece over here, and so on and so forth. So again, use the booklet. The booklet kind of specifies everything, goes over everything. Tells you how to change everything. Obviously, that's where it tells you can change the heads, and It also goes over, I think in the beginning, it goes over the batteries and what batteries go in once. Now again, usually it's one battery, 621s are the main ones, but then in the chest, I believe it required the different ones, which is, if I can zoom in here. Okay, I love these cameras. Sometimes they cooperate and sometimes they don't. But here we go. So, yeah, and these require the F15V, see the 521F1. So there are different batteries there, and I have the 3 extra because I didn't use it for the pod mode. So that's that. So again, pay attention to that, and that's pretty much it. So I'm going to do one more final look. I'm going to put the light up head on, and we'll do one more pose with the battle damage stuff on, and we will call it a day. Okay, so one last reveal here. I got the battle mode armor back on his legs, and I have the light up head sculpt back on, have the chest light back on, so you can kind of get an idea of all the options you have here. So he's still sort of in battle damage or battle damage and battle mode. And if you notice here, the nice thing is that you can use the battle damage plate on the light up. Okay, so it kind of goes with the battle damage. Now, if you notice, the one nitpick, I wouldn't say nitpick, but if you go with the, if you really want the battle damage, you have to use Tony Stark's head. But then at that point, if you do that, you kind of want to go with the open mass look, maybe more so, because here, you know, the plate has the battle damage, but the rest of the head on the light up one is clean. So it's not exactly battle damage, but at the same time, you do have the extra weathering and scuffs on there, you know, so you could kind of get away with it and kind of go with the battle damage look with that plate on it so that you can have the eyes lit up. Otherwise, you know, you go with the open mass look and kind of go with this one that has more of the scuffs and the damage. But again, it's really an awesome figure. It's got a lot of, oh, sorry, I had this plate off here, but whatever. Here we go. This one. Okay, so it's got a lot of options. It's got a lot of options. It really does. And you can have a lot of fun with this one and kind of try out a lot of different poses, a lot of different pieces. Really like it. And yeah, I'm just going to kind of have to go back and forth and decide how I want to display it. But like I said, the one thing I'm not going to be doing is the pod mode. I think it's cool, but unnecessary. But to each their own. And I'm sure there'll be some that maybe want that or maybe want like more than one. Oh, and also, you know, I didn't mention this does pop up like the other ones, so you can kind of bend them and stuff. Kind of put them in a leaning forward pose, see? So this does pop up more to make him taller, or you can push it down so that he, you know, he's just kind of stationary. So they do give the option to pop them up, which I did here, so that you can bend them forward and you can bend them back. So it gives you a little more posability. Not tremendous, but enough that you can do a little more of the dramatic poses. So that's one last thing I wanted to mention. But other than that, that's a wrap. Mark VII, still available at Sideshow right now, at least the regular one, not the Sideshow exclusive. But if you're into Iron Man and you don't have this armor yet, I definitely say this is a lot of fun and a lot of, you know, a lot there to have fun with and to play around with. Different poses, you know, it's got the typical stuff with the flaps being able to open, you know, just like all the other ones. Same idea, but except more. You really get a lot for your buck, for the bang for your buck for this one. So I would say go for it, have fun, and you know, get it. If you haven't already, go buy it. Anyway, that's Showbiz 34 back again this time. Until next time, peace out.